last one of the night. We're recording. Put the phone away. Alright. So this one is Speak of the Devil, which is episode 9, I think we're on now.
Yep.
Which I've heard good things about this one, so I was curious about going into it. This is a damn good episode.
Yeah.
Not much happens in it, though, he said sarcastically.
Yeah.
No, fucking shit ton of, like, story revelations happen in this, especially in the third act when everything just gets kicked up to the nth degree. That's really what sold me on the episode, was the last 15 minutes, which are spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is, like, there's a lot of more ambiguity in this episode, I don't know if you noticed. More so than the previous ones, I thought. What do you think?
Well, I wouldn't say there's much more ambiguity. It's just they kind of took the time to actually talk about it this time.
Yeah.
Like, there's always... Like, it was always kind of like in the back of people's minds. Like, like obviously with Fisk mentioning, you know, like the whole, I don't want to be a monster, tell me I'm not a monster thing. Mm-hmm. And like even, you know, the other things where they talk about Murdoch, it's like, you think he goes too far and all that.
Mm-hmm. Well, this one really kind of goes, now that Fisk is out in the open, it's really kind of exploring, like, okay, how the hell do we take him down, and how we do that without going to the extreme.
Yeah, because now he's become much more brazen, both in terms of his personality and his actions.
Oh, he's much more confident this episode. Yeah. It's actually very nice to see, for some reason. Like, I find myself rooting for Kingpin.
Yeah. Well, because it's showing an evolution in his character.
Mm-hmm. And it's much more like the Kingpin from the comics, too. Yeah. So it's like in, like, the Daredevil movie, which I know it's not really fair to compare it to that, because, you know, everything in this is better compared to that movie, but... in fact that he was already the confident one. That's when we see the more insecure side of him and how he's learning. Even though he's already like the kingpin, so I'm not sure how much more confident he needed to be. But this one feels like feels very much like more in charge now for some reason.
Like notice he's making much more eye contact. He's making, you know, like more assured decisions.
He's relying less on other people and more on his own abilities, which is. And that leads up to the finale, which we'll get to because it's fucking awesome. Yeah. But okay, I'm just gonna say, this is like the first Daredevil Kingpin fight, and oh dear God, that's like the second brutal fight right after what was already a brutal fight.
Just like
because this movie opens up with a fucking ninja, not movie episode. I keep doing that.
It feels very cinematic.
Yeah, it basically is. But it starts out with like, okay, we're doing ninjas now.
Yeah.
I mean, at least like the Stick episode kind of teased that. It's like, nope, ninjas.
Basically, he's dealing with Marvel's equivalent of Scorpion.
Basically. I mean, like, I definitely see why they're establishing ninjas now, because A, it's important to Daredevil lore, and also it's important to Iron Fist, so it makes sense to, like... It's kind of like how they're introducing the Inhumans now in S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes more sense. It's less jarring. But dear God, that fight between Daredevil and the ninja is...
Yeah, getting dragged by a blade, dug into your gut. I'm like, oh!
Because it's like a chain blade and shit. So he's whipping around. He's got cuts and shit in his costume. Oh, by the way, costume watch.
Yeah, basically it looks like a fire poker where it's got like the sharp. It's got the one pointy end and the curved end.
Yeah.
It's just like no.
By the way, costume watch. Daredevil now has arm guards on top of his elbow guards and his little pocket protector where he keeps his sticks.
Yeah. Like, he's definitely getting more protective while still trying to, like, not sacrifice the mobility, which obviously he's going to learn. Yeah, I'm going to have to get a full armor suit at some point.
Yeah, especially after this, because even at the end when he's in the river, you see just the blood just pouring from every ounce of him. But no, like, the priest gets a bigger part in this, and I like the priest. The priest is a fun character.
Like, they gave him some good development, using that to actually, you know, kind of influence that ambiguity or doubts that Matt has.
And taught me something about Satan that I did not know, which is kind of cool. And taught me something about Satan that I did not know, which is actually kind of cool. Which
I heard something different. Is that the idea that, Satan and Lucifer are actually very commonly confused?
Yeah, well, I guess Satan is like another term for adversary just in general. Yeah. While Lucifer is like the actual... fallen angel. I mean, granted, my biblical knowledge isn't fantastic. I know some, but I'm not... I don't call myself well-versed. No pun intended. But, anyway. Like I said, we're just really taken aback at just how fucking well written this show is. Like, we haven't talked about it much, but that's been a sub-character in the past several episodes. Who's like the old lady who's in this building.
Mrs. Cardenas?
Yeah, Mrs. Cardenas, who was in this building that, Nabu, I keep fucking...
Nobu.
Nobu. I'm gonna get his name right.
Yeah, basically it's an old woman that's part of a messed up tenant or set of apartments that basically Murdoch and friends are trying to help out, especially Foggy and Kate.
That sounds like a weird episode of Super Friends. Foggy and Friends!
Yeah.
Or not, Murdoch and Friends.
Yeah.
I can just imagine little stars appearing on the front screen. The A-Team?
It feels more fitting for them. I don't know why. But,
if you have a problem, and no one else can help, and if you can find them,
call Murdoch and Friends!
Yeah, that actually does kind of work, huh?
I just imagine the cheesy ad that they have.
Yeah, but... Oh, God.
I'm just picturing it in my head right now.
Like in Community?
Yeah! Yes, exactly like that.
Just have Murdoch find a robot. But in real life, the robot wins. Which is really the lesson in this episode.
Yeah. Because, back to the thing, though, this woman who, they've been helping out, you've actually been getting to know, who's actually quite likable, too.
Oh, yeah, she's a very likable character. It's kind of hard not to like her. She's such an innocent old woman.
Yeah.
But
still, has her little mild outbursts that are fun, just you laugh at. Then
I mean, it's kind of stereotypical, but at the same time, it's also kind of lovable in a weird way.
Yeah.
But, yeah, she dies, and that's very sad. And
you
feel sad for the character.
It's oh.
Even though it's cliche, it's well written and well acted, so you still feel for the character. And
I believe the term you'd use was it was earned.
Yes, it was definitely a very earned moment, and it definitely makes sense why everyone else would be broken up about it.
Yeah, because they give you that time in which they developed the relationship between all of them.
Yeah, so definitely, I was on board with it. It was like, okay, cool, I can go with this, and of course that sends Murdoch on the murder hunt, which at this point they have been making a very good argument on whether or not he should or should not kill Kingpin, and whether he wants to.
Yeah.
Which I thought again, you can do that with this character. You can't do it with any other Marvel hero that they've presented so far.
Yeah.
And I like that they're going in that direction. Like I said, I love that this show is willing to try shit that nothing of the Marvel stuff is willing to. It's not playing it safe. Yeah. It's playing it very risky. And it looks like it's paying off for them because the show's a big hit right now.
Yeah, because that's the thing. It's they use the risk to really make an interesting, fleshed out, deep character.
Yeah, they're not just doing it just for the sake of doing it. It has purpose. It has a place. And like I said, they just kind of got to throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. But even that, it's not without purpose, not without meaning. It's not because they just can't do it. It's okay, we know ninjas are a part of the Daredevil lore. Can we just have them find a ninja? Apparently the answer is yes. Because, Nobo, I'm gonna get Nobo. That's fucking.
The reason it's easier for me to remember is because that's the name of a character from Battle Royale, so I just got to think of that.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen Battle Royale, so I'm thinking
I'm showing that to you next.
Nubu, Nabu, Lobo. I don't know. I have a great movie seen Lobo on this show. Not the old one, not the crappy new one, but where he's like, hey, let's. What if Justin Bieber was evil?
What?
Have you not seen the New 52 Lobo?
No.
Oh, okay. Have fun with that.
I've not seen any Lobo save for a couple cartoons. But he's basically the Deadpool of the DC universe, though.
Not anymore.
Anyway, ninja fight, where we also learn a little bit of where Nobu's respects lie. He has shown no respect for Fisk
at all.
Although, of course, Fisk is actually able to stand up to his complaining.
Yeah, you can tell, Kingpin's kind of tired of his shit.
Yeah. Nobu even, does a slight bow, a little bow to Daredevil before he attempts to kill him. Yeah. I was he not once gave anything like that to Fisk, which kind of shows, it's not really whether or not you succeed that impressive, it's whether or not you try.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's and then, of course, what ends up happening to the character, which is big for Daredevil in general, is the fact that, for all intents and purposes, Murdoch kills him.
That being said, though, I'm not sure if he meant to, but he was in a justified state.
Yeah, granted he was desperate at the same time, but he does kill him, and I'm curious to see how they'll explore that in the next couple episodes.
Because they've been talking about that for, the past couple as well.
Yeah, whether or not he should. That's when he actually does kill somebody.
Because, they talk about that since Stick came into the picture. It's you haven't crossed that line yet.
So now he has, and, where are they going to go with that next? I'm excited to see where they're going with that. Is it going to become more acceptable? Is it going to, be written with guilt about it, or like the best comparison I can think of is like Man of Steel, just kind of like how to do that kind of thing right.
Yeah.
And it's like whether you like Man of Steel or hate Man of Steel, I respect your opinion either way. But
yeah, even though like I disliked it, I was fine with that scene as well.
I was fine with it too, but I think it's more it's more earned here because again, it's much more built up that this is what happens. It was built in Man of Steel too, but
because
also just throwaway lines of dialogue.
Yeah, because like with Man of Steel, admittedly, I felt like there was still more he could have done.
Yeah,
like jump. But overall, like it was a good,
This one feels like this is the kind of character that can get away with this kind of thing. I mean, not like you can write that in there and it makes sense that this would happen with this particular character. And less so Superman, because you expect Superman to be like the pinnacle of virtue.
Yeah.
While Daredevil is much more the gritty hero that not necessarily kills people like Punisher, but will go to that darker territory.
Yeah. Like, if need be.
Yeah. Other than that, everyone is... Oh, and then right after, we get the Human Torch.
Yeah, a little spoiler on how that turns out.
Yeah, he gets lit on fire accidentally and then just anticlimactically just plops down in the corner.
Assumed it's accidentally.
Yeah, assume it's accidentally. There's also a few small little changes I've noticed in this too, and the fact that Kingpin is wearing much more of his traditional comic book.
Like it's going lighter.
It's going lighter, and it's more traditional suit vest, which I appreciate. It's showing that he's like becoming more of the Kingpin we know from the comics.
Yeah.
Which again is a very nice little nod, and that's kind of what they're doing with Matt Murdock too, with like how his costumes are subtly changing.
Yeah.
How he's become less of a vigilante, more of a superhero type character, and oddly enough, getting more stuck in superhero-esque escapades like fighting fucking ninjas. So like there's a lot of subtlety in this show. Now that you really stop and think about it.
Yeah.
They should stop talking soon because I can feel my throat's getting worse and worse as we go on through the night.
Yeah.
But yeah, then right after the ninja bites it, the Kingpin comes in right after, says, "Thank you for taking care of that. He's going to real pain in my ass." And then they fight, and Kingpin just beats the fucking shit out of him.
Yeah, it's just... After you get tired out by the athletic guy, the big brawler can do pretty much most anything he wants in terms of torture.
I mean, it really just establishes, like, Kingpin as a powerhouse, too.
Yeah.
Like, as he's an emotional character, but he's also strong as fuck.
Yeah.
Which is how he's in the comics, too. Even though he is a bigger, fatter guy, he can still kick your ass.
Yeah. On the topic of his personality, though, like, despite, his brazenness, they still reflect on the fact that I think that he still kind of regrets, like, these quote-unquote necessary evils he has to take.
True, but I also think he's more okay with them now.
Yeah. He's more willing to do them, but there's still, like, some in the back of his head. Because, like, remember the whole thing after Murdoch, Foggy, and Kate are basically getting drunk at a bar. More Kate and Foggy. They mentioned how, like, he was kind of talking about this whole deal about, like, like, she shouldn't have died, like, but that I really do, that he does want to fix things up, Kate's like, saying he's spouting BS, and Murdoch's like, no, he actually does really believe it.
Yeah. I mean, like, he does believe he's doing the right thing, and again, that makes a good villain. He's a villain who's not doing it for the sake of being evil. He thinks, in his mind, that his methods are right. Again, like, this is just a fascinating villain in general. They did a really great job with him. And again, like, both the Daredevil and Kingpin are kind of growing into their own... into their own as the show's going forward. It's just very well written. A lot of selling to a lot of small, nice touches that I really appreciate as both a comic fan and just a fan of these kind of things in general. We also got a bit more Vanessa in this episode. Very briefly, but that's another character I'm interested in a little more about, though.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, again, there is that darker side that now that you know it's there, you can just kind of see it. Yeah, she's a player. She knows how to... so I'm curious to see whether or not, like... Is she giving me, like, the puppet master, kind of like in the 301 Dalmatians? 302?
Oh, okay.
That's just what I call that movie, because I think it's funny. How Eva Green was kind of like the master manipulator.
I didn't see it, so...
It's worth watching for Eva Green alone. She's fucking great.
Or better yet, SimCity: A Dame to Kill For.
I liked her better in 301
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, I remember that. She was kind of the same way in that, too.
True, but she's more batshit insane in 300. But Yeah, so I'm curious to see where they're going with that character. I mean, we still got like 4 episodes left, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know how much time enough left to really explore that character. I'd probably be more focused on the Kingpin Murdoch rivalry at this point, which is definitely what's developed into. This episode also has Murdoch and as Matt Murdock meeting the Kingpin for the first time, which was kind of an oh shit moment.
Yeah.
It just goes to show like one episode of character development, Kingpin goes 10 times more intimidating. Because we're all sitting like, oh fuck, what's gonna happen? Okay, he's not dead yet, but okay. Oh, and we gotta talk about the ending.
Oh yeah.
So
good little cliffhanger.
Yeah, good little cliffhanger. Foggy knows now that Murdoch is the Man in Black.
Yep.
So now he's got the neuralizer. But anyway, dumb joke. But yeah, that's this episode had a lot of bombshells.
Yeah.
Sometimes literally.
Well, no, that was way earlier on where they had the literal bombshells.
True. So yeah, exciting cliffhanger. Can't wait to see what the next one is, but it's gonna have to wait though because my throat's giving out and I need to go home. So thank you for joining me this episode, Grant.
No problem.
All right, we'll see you all in the next episode. Wait, do you have anything else to say?
No, it was just a really good episode, and I'm really excited to see how everything turns out.
All right, maybe we'll get your thoughts on the show after we're all done here. So,
yeah.
All right, bye.